So when we say a geometric sequence, this is the definition, a sequence in which the ratio of any term to the previous is constant. So that's what we're going to use to recognize what is our factor we're multiplying by. We're going to call it our ratio. So a common ratio is the constant. So as I said, in this example, we were multiplying by 3, so our ratio was 3. In arithmetic, we call it D. We call it the common difference. For geometric, we call it the ratio. So, question, is this a geometric sequence? So as I'm looking at this, I'm multiplied by 4, and all of a sudden it becomes negative 4. No, this is not a geometric sequence because it has to be constant. Here, now I imagine most of you think of it as you divide by negative 3, you divide by negative 3, you're dividing by negative 3, which therefore means, yes, this is a geometric, but what's the ratio? Don't think of it as dividing, think of it as multiplying by negative 1/3. So here is the formula that we use for a geometric. It's the first term times the ratio raised to the n minus 1. Very similar to the same constraints of the arithmetic. Does anybody remember the arithmetic off the top of their head? Yes. Awesome. Go.
It's the first term.
So it's the first term
Plus the common ratio.
Well, the difference. We call it the difference.
Times the n term minus 1.
That's good. Right. Notice how it's very similar. This time, though, it's the first term times the ratio raised to the n minus 1. Okay? So, first thing I'm going to ask you is write the rule for the nth term. Well, the first thing you need to do is, here's our first term. We need to find the ratio. Now, this one's not quite as obvious. All you have to do to find the ratio is take the latter term divided by the previous term. So, negative 12 divided by negative 8 would simplify into positive. Take out a 4, it would be what? 3/2. And I think if we thought about this, negative 8 times 1.5 is negative 12. Negative 12 times 1.5 is negative 18. So you see how we have the ratio? And then if I say write the rule for the nth term, well, the nth term is equal to the first term, negative 8, times the ratio, 3/2, raised to the n minus 1. And guys, I can't simplify an nth term for a geometric. Remember, for the arithmetic, I would have you simplify it a little bit. There's no simplifying happening. Don't be the ding-dong, because you're not, that thinks negative 8 times 3/2. Don't you do exponents before you multiply? So you have to, this is right here is where we stop. Okay? So you write the rule for the nth term of this. I'm telling you it's a geometric sequence. If we do this correctly, we first of all recognize that the ratio was 2/5. So the nth term is the first term times the ratio raised to the n minus 1. We good? Find the 8th term of this sequence. You know what? Let's scribble out the 8th term. Let's change that. Let's find the 25th term. Okay, everybody got their calculators? Help me out. We find the 25th term. Get them out. We find the 25th term by taking the first term, which is 7, times... Oh, I need to find the ratio. So let's go off to the side. Everybody take 10.5 divided by 7 for me. Take 10.5 divided by 7. Now convert that fraction or that decimal into a fraction. That way we can be concerned. So we're going to take 10.5 divided by 7, hit enter, then convert it to a fraction. What do we get? 3 halves, good. I guess you didn't even have to convert. You should recognize 1.5. So 3 halves raised to the n, what is n? 25. So 25 minus 1 raised to the 24th. Everybody grab their calculators. Take 1.5 raised to the 24th. Hit enter, multiply it by 7. You don't have to, now maybe try hit math and see if that will go math fraction, see if that will go to a fraction. It may not, did it? No, so we got to write it as the decimal answer. Micah, what do we have?
117,838.7854.
0.78. Can I just do, I'll do 3 decimal places. 0.785.
You want us to do 3 decimal places?
Yeah, I just want us to be consistent. 3 decimal places for Mr. Dice is consistently what I need to see. I'm trying, because I didn't used to be that. I used to make you go AP exams require 3 decimal places for mathematics, so let's be consistent with it. Cool? So if I ask you to find the 8th term of this geometric sequence, we can probably just recognize real quick that our 8th term would be our first term 1/7 times. What's our ratio? You probably can just recognize it. It's what? 1/2 raised to the 7th. So I would just go into my calculator and put 0.5 raised to the 7th. And I would actually just divide by 7. Rafe, can I come to you? And then take your answer, convert it to a fraction, because you know it's going to become a fraction. It's going to work. So, Rafe, can I come to you? What do we get for our fraction answer?
I got 1 over 896.
1 over what?
896.
896? Love it. Nice. You doubted it a little bit, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah? Yes, Sarah?
Can you say find the 25th?
I give you the 5th term as 4. I give you the ratio as a half. Okay, Sarah, you know what? I like it. You motivated me. Because I know most of you would just go, okay, I'm just going to go 4 times a half, times a half, times a half, right? I do it in my head. 2, 1, 1/2. Done. Got it. So let's change it. Sarah said do it, so I'm with you. Let's do the 25th term on this one. So, and you're not going to sit there and try to count times a half. Okay, you're going to mess. A lot of you are going to mess up as you hit it. So we got to go back and find the what, guys? We got to find the first term. Now, I'm comfortable with you going. Okay, so listen, because you're smart enough going. Okay, if the 5th term is 4, 4, 3, 2, 1, and if the ratio was a half, if I went the other way, it's what? Times 2. So this would be what? 8, 16, 32, 64. But what if it was further down the line? You also could have said the 5th term, which is 4, is equal to the first term times the ratio 1/2 raised to the n minus 1. Look up here. 5 minus 1 is 4. And you could have took 1/2 to the 4th, which is 1/16, and then multiplied by 16. I bet 4 times 16 is 64. So is everybody comfortable with either way to find the first term? Yes. And then once I know the first term and the ratio, I can find the 25th term by saying, well, what is the 25th term? It equals my first term, 64, times the ratio of 1/2 raised to the n minus 1, 25 minus 1, 24. Let's take 1/2 raised to the 24th power. Let's That's my first term. I just did it two ways, Vance.
On the second way. Wait, what
I used the nth rule, and I used this given, and I said I know the fifth term is 4, the first term, and the ratio is 1/2, and then this is n minus 1, so 5 minus 1 is 4. I just plugged it into the formula to find the first term. Are you comfortable with that, guys? And then we take 1/2 raised to the 24th times 64. Anybody try converting it to a fraction? Does it come out clean? No? So we're going to say, Abby, what do you have, hon?
I have 3.812 times 10 to the negative 6.
So 815, 3 decimal places.
Oh, yeah.
3.815 times 10 raised to the what? Negative.
6.
Do I have an agreement on that?
You have to multiply by 64.
What's that?
Once you raise it to the 24, you have to multiply to the 64.
Did you guys not multiply by 64?
I did. I got a different answer.
Abby?
No, I got the same.
I'm going to do it. I don't need some. Rafe's saying you did it wrong. 0.5 raised to the 24th, enter,
Ray did it wrong. Oh no, I might have it wrong.
times 64. Wow, Rafe. I'm sorry, bud. It sucks. Isn't it stink when the female's right and the male's wrong? So let's just do this one in our heads, and we're going to leave it the 8th term because I'm good that if you understand the third term's 5, the ratio's 2, you could go 5 times 2 times 2 times 2 to get to the 8th. Would you agree with that? Or you could go, well, if the ratio's 2, so I'm just going to put this in here, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You also could say if the ratio's 2, which makes this 10, what's it make this term right here? 5 over 2, and then it makes this term what? 5/4. So I could use either strategy to find the first term, and I could use the formula to find the 8th term, or I could just go 10, 20, 30, 40. Did I mess up?
Yeah. I'll go by 10.
Oh, how about I multiply by 2? No, I did it right. You guys are bullcrap. I said 20, 40, 80, 160. I have it recorded at the 325-ish mark. It's going to say I said 40. Yeah, I'm recording it. I just want I'm going to hit pause again. Find the 15th. So the directions are find the 15th term. What's the problem? Abby?
Do you mean tell me how to solve it?
Well, yeah, sure. Go ahead. Tell me how to solve it.
Okay. You do 2/3 minus 54 divided by 5 minus 1.
If it was an arithmetic, yes. You just found a slope of adding. But this is a geometric. So she's got to find the ratio. So we all agree that I told you the first term's 54. I don't know the second, the third, the fourth. I know the fifth term is 2/3. And if you couldn't hear, she said take 2/3 minus 54 divided by 5 minus 1 is 4. That's what we would do for an arithmetic. But that would be if we're adding the same factor, and now we're multiplying. Let's wait for the men to represent. Nice job. There we go. All right. So, and look, if I took 54 times 1/3, that's 27, times a third is 9. Times a third is 3. Uh-oh, did I mess up my math?
Third is, will be 2.
No, I messed up somewhere.
54 multiplied by a third, that's 18.
That would help. I said I know I did something
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah.
18.
And then 6.
And then, yeah, I was just dividing by 3, was it? Yeah. And then 2, and then 2/3.
So we're finding the 15th term now?
The 15th.
So now we have everything we need. To find the 15th term, we'll just say, well, let's find the 15th term by taking the first term, which you already knew was 54, times the ratio of 1/3 raised to the 14th power. I'll grab our calculators and let's crunch out. Let's take 1/3 raised to the 14th times 54 Paige, you think you have it?
1.129
Okay, I'm going to write that down. Does it convert to a fraction? No. So the 15th term, say it again, Paige.
1.129 times 10 to the negative.
Do I have agree with that?
Yeah.
219?
129.
129 times 10 to the negative.
Fifth.
Thank you. We okay? Now, they're not all going to be, let's skip this one. Let's do this one. Again, we're going to find, now, let's just find the 15th term. We need to find the ratio, and then we're going to be good. How do I find that ratio again? We're going to take, this is the Tyler theorem, okay? Negative what? 65,536 divided by negative 64. We're going to, what root are we going to take, Carson? The what root? So go back to the one what Tyler did. He took, it was the fourth root. How did he get the fourth root?
You take the 5 minus the 1.
So in this case, it would be the,
10 root.
yeah, the 16 minus the 6, which would be the 10th root, which is taking that raised to the 1/10. Everybody comfortable with that? So in our, I bet this one works out nice. Does it? Maybe I'm mistaken. It does work out nice. What's the ratio? Dos. De. What's 2 in German?
I don't know.
Hold on. Nobody here's in German? But I figured I have it. Yeah, what's 2 in German? Sva? Zwei. Zwei. Okay. Anybody Chinese? R. R. I'll just say R. I know that's not proper. I know there's supposed to be a little curl to it there, but to 2, right? Now, here's the thing. Ready? I don't need to use a formula. I'm asking for the 15th term. I'm sitting on 16th. All I got to do is take this negative 65,536 and divide by 2, which is what? The 15th term is negative 30. See here. Isabel, what do we have there? Negative. What? Yeah. Isabel, what did we get? Laney? 15th term?
Oh my god.
Say it one more time. Negative. Thank you. Ashley, you okay?
Yeah, I thought you called Leah. Isabel. I was like,
Oh, that's Annalie over there. Miss Sanchez. Sometimes when I forget first names, I'll just say Mr. and Ms. because it's easier to remember your last names than your first names. Because as a teacher, I'm entering in your grade book by your last name.
And you sound meaner.
Just sound more authoritative. It's just
Trust me. It's the reason.
go to 13. So Shelley receives a joke in an email that asks her to forward it to 4 of her friends. I guess we should change that to. I think we should change that to now. It's what you post it on social media and then share with 4 of your friends or something like that. That's how it works. Okay, she forwards it. All right, here we go. And then each of her friends forwards it to 4 of their friends. The pattern continues. How many people received the email on the 9th round of forwarding? So, here we go. It starts with Shelley's.
Hold on, because it says she received this when someone else sent it to her. So when she the second one.
If the pattern continues, how many people received the email on the 9th
Can you get that?
round of forwarding? Well, we're going to count. Yeah, we're going to count her as the first round. So we're counting she received it, so it was a round of 40. Okay? I see where you're going, Laney. I don't think either way thought process is incorrect. Because I guess on her first round of forwarding, it became what? 4. I'll go with it. It doesn't change the way, the understanding of it, right? And then we're just going to go to the 16th, and we can multiply by 4. Or you could just say, how about the 9th round would be the first round, 4 times 4 raised to the 8th power. Either way, we're going to get to it just as quickly. Again, I guess if Lainey wasn't in here, I would have counted the first round as her one email, but sometimes it's easier men to just let the women be correct, right?
Yeah.
Right?
No, you're saying yeah.
Who's like never gonna buy? Like Vance, I could see you like, nope, I'm never buying into that.
What?
Just
No, I do.
giving an argument.
What?
Sometimes you just gotta lose, man.
I know.
It's hard.
No.
Let me just say,
I
the
know.
16-year-old me would have never given in an argument ever.
I love to argue, so that's where it gets tough.
Is it better? I think I heard this one, so I want to say it. Is it better to be kind and loving, or just be right?
You're right.
What's the 9th term in the sequence? According this way, what do we get, guys?
262,144.
Nice. How quickly it can grow. Okay?